welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast.
Kevin's eyes look insane, but he's got new hair. Virginia is a witch, and she farts in her chair. Jason is a spaz who's got an old man's ass. Welcome to the After the Show podcast.
Alrighty, hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show podcast. Here we are, happy Monday. Hope everybody had a great weekend. I was looking ahead to what is going on this week, and South Florida is kind of a crazy place because after this weekend, there is nothing that I have listed on the social calendar really until December. Art Basel is basically the next thing on the calendar. It just falls off a cliff. I mean, you're talking about, we got all kinds of great stuff that goes on in South Florida. They got F1 coming up this weekend, and then after that, that's about all you're looking at.
And I don't think we have anything on the schedule as of right this second for KVJ, do we?
Not really.
Not for a while. No, we got
stuff coming up in the fall.
Yeah, but that's really about it. It is kind of crazy. I assume most places are not like this because it's just the weird reversal of where we are compared to the rest of the country. Because I have a feeling that if we were doing radio in Chicago, we'd be like, oh my gosh, every weekend there's so much stuff going on. And it's just the exact reversal.
Well, because our private parts are going to start sticking to our legs coming up in about a month.
Yeah. Well, you got so many people that do head north. You got people doing vacations. And then you're right. It really not a lot of stuff reliably you can do outside. And you can definitely see it in the social calendar. Nobody wants to take a chance after this weekend. That's about it.
I mean, you can, but you're one of those athletic dicks that can just stay outside all day and run and jump and do push-ups.
That's not us.
That's not us.
This is not a runny, jumpy group.
We're air-conditioned people.
Yeah, well, you can definitely see that. So that's about it. I mean, you do have obviously concerts and stuff like that that'll come around. There are some things at the amphitheater. But as far as like those main events that you typically have, I think probably really the only thing that you would see that we'll have on the calendar, though, you are going to have a little bit with the soccer, the World Cup coming up. Those games going to be at Hard Rock Stadium. So that will be something to look forward to this summer.
But if let's say you're at a concert in July, Virginia, and you get one of those menopause hot flashes, does that just knock you right in the dirt?
It would be rough to be out in the South Florida heat, already sweaty, and then get a hot flash. Like, you want to see the inner bitch come out? That's when.
It's kind of like you need an ice gun or something constantly on you, just shooting ice at you.
I have fans now, and I constantly have them on me, near me, in every room of my house. So whenever it hits, I can go stand in front of the fan.
That would be a shitty way to watch a concert. You're already sweating your ass off, and then you get hot flashes.
It sucks.
It might be a YouTube kind of a situation.
Well, we do have some emails here today. We did some column outs, and one of the people that popped up and all that stuff was old Russel Brand, who is trying to rehab his image a bit. You know, he, I think, dabbled in some drugs and he dabbled in some ladies. And he's got some charges and whatnot, because I'm not sure he did it necessarily on the up and up. And recently, just last week, confessed that he'd had a sexual relationship with a 16-year-old when he was 30, which I guess is not illegal in England because that is the age of consent. So
it just looks weird, dude.
It is, and I think he is kind of admitting that, yeah, it was kind of still a moral shortcoming.
I mean, we still have places in the United States where 16 is the legal limit. It's crazy.
Age of consent, yeah.
I don't like it.
It's weird.
It doesn't feel right, especially when somebody's 30. It just feels like, all right. Louise said, IDK, guys, but that cat Russell of Katy Perry's hubby's fame, I always have thought of him as one of those individuals that has just always lied his way out of whatever he gets into. Now, earlier we had played a clip where he was on Piers Morgan's show, and Piers just left him hanging because he was referencing a Bible verse. He's like, yeah, where's that verse you're talking about?
What is it?
And he was thumbing through the Bible, and That went on for 1:45 before Russel Brand's like, okay, I don't know where it is.
He couldn't find it.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how it was so much of his fabric and really got him through and this and that about this verse. All right, well, what is it? Tell it to us. He couldn't.
He was probably waiting for Piers to bail him out, and Piers would not bail him out.
Just sat there silently.
He's
Yeah.
probably thinking, oh, it's it's network TV. Don't waste the advertising dollars. Oh,
No, this is on his podcast.
Oh, it was okay.
Yeah. I'm not even sure if Piers is doing much.
I'm not really in touch with anything really.
Yeah, okay. Said, come on, really? You claim to be this new wholesome person and changed, God-loving Christian, yet you can't even find that particular verse or whatever in your Bible. He's just another lying dump of doo-doo and a total diabolical and a very mischievous goober.
Well, when someone's not known for their Bible verses and they walk into court with a Bible in their hand for everyone to see, you kind of go, all right, what kind of show is being put on right now?
We see you and your props, Carrot Top.
I mean, Russell Brand walking with a Bible. And I know people are going to say, oh, he's a born again this, that.
No, look, I'm very suspect a lot of times because it is very convenient, and there are a lot of Christians that'll look at it and be like, okay, and I'm all about it. I believe in redemption. I believe in forgiveness. But to me, you got to show me. You got to act it because it has been very convenient. I can't tell you how many times. I can't even count that high on celebrities or people that I've seen trying to use the Bible or Christianity or whatever the religion might be to try to sanctify themselves, and they don't mean it. Their heart's not in it.
I remember back in the day when I was a kid, Jimmy Swaggart was that TV evangelist who would always talk like this and Jesus and God and everything. And then he got in that scandal with, I believe it was a hooker. And I go, oh, this guy's going to finally go down. And then he went back on TV. Oh, Lord, I have sinned. And I go, people aren't going to believe this shit.
They did.
And they did. I couldn't believe it. As a little kid, I thought that.
It was really damaging to the church. I mean, it really was. I don't know that a lot of those churches really recovered. And you'll see something today. More people are going back. Protestant church numbers are up. But, one thing that you're seeing is a lot of the old brands that they had on Baptist, Methodist, Presbyterian, those churches are dying because I think it has the old tag. And I think the people like the Jim Bakkers and the Jimmy Swaggarts from the 80s, people just don't want that label. You look now and it's Family Church or Christ Fellowship, or they've got new names and they're non-denominational and they, are all slick and all that kind of stuff. And that's how they do it. But yeah, those old brands that they used to have, people just they're kind of over it. They've been a little bit too tarnished by some of those guys. Yeah, because a lot of that's happened, man. And it does happen a lot. I think when you are a preacher, something like that, it takes a little bit of ego to do that. And you are always wrestling with that. Kind of what is your strength is also your weakness. And I think a lot of people deal with that. Kind of what gives you the power to do what you do. It makes you successful. But it is also the trigger to be your downfall.
It's the age-old tale. With great power comes great responsibility because it can get away from you.
Right. And I personally, my own belief is I don't think there's anybody more under attack than somebody who's trying to live a holy life, because the devil wants to bring that guy down harder than anything. So he'll throw everything in front of you and be like, oh, yeah, you got that? How buttoned up are you?
Here, try this.
Yeah.
Oh, no one didn't say the devil doesn't know how to throw a party.
No doubt.
The devil knows how to throw a party.
The devil knows how to throw a party. Absolutely. So, got this from Keith. He said, we were at Walmart yesterday, and after checking out, we walked by the other cash registers and noticed there was a man standing at the end of one of the registers, not a self-checkout register. He had a cart full of groceries and was bagging the groceries in his cart. There was no cashier around this register. It appeared like he was just stealing an entire cart full of groceries.
Huh.
So what would you do? Would you tell someone?
Nope.
Or not say anything and just keep on walking?
No.
I keep it moving. I don't get involved. I don't work there. And I got stuff to do, bruh.
Every time I get involved in something that has nothing to do with me, it always fucks me every single time. Because how do I know there's not some weird unseen circumstance going on?
Exactly.
And now I'm like, what's going on over here? No, I'm not. I don't want to be an old busybody fuckface.
You don't work for loss prevention for Walmart. Keep it moving.
Because the one time I'll get involved, trust me, it'll be on me. It'll be, no, man, we're just helping this guy out. We didn't have the potatoes he wanted.
He had broken bags. We're just switching out his bags, douche.
And there's nothing more embarrassing when you try to help and you're actually the asshole.
Yeah, that's just it, because you don't know the circumstances.
You don't.
And I've had that happen so often where I was doing something that was on the up and up and somebody's like, look at what he's doing. I'm like, I'm allowed to do this. So I'm doing and it's just, it slows you down and you're like, no, I'm okay. Here's the pass. Here's the ticket. Or here's whatever I'm doing. Thanks so much for being the community police.
Well, I remember you got kind of like called out in a meeting when we were down in Miami because you got called out for saying you weren't paying attention in a meeting. You were writing notes on your phone, and one of the managers go, Kevin, can you not get off your phone, please, and listen to what he's saying? You're like, I'm taking notes, bro. Look at this.
Yeah.
He called you out.
He did.
He was wrong.
Right.
You were doing your job.
Exactly. I'm like, if you want, I won't take notes.
Yeah.
Stop paying attention.
I'll forget everything you said as soon as I walk out of here.
Well, you just got to be careful when you call somebody out.
Right. No, you're right. Absolutely. Well, we got called out here. Chrissy had said, I love the show, but sometimes you guys just say stuff to say stuff. LOL. It's funny hearing people in West Palm talking about how New York City is a disaster. Even the day before on the podcast, Jason asked if NYC goes from being great to being terrible back and forth. It's all about what the national media wants to tell you. If it's so terrible, why do you come back and vacation here? Why are you bragging about a New York City trip as a prize giveaway if it's such a disaster? As someone living in Brooklyn and throughout the 5 boroughs regularly, NYC is not a disaster. People here are pretty happy about a lot of things. One being recently a tax being passed on out-of-state owners of expensive buildings. Crime has been down this year. A brutal winter is finally over, and people here are happy. So turn off the news and worry about yourself, Florida.
Well, my thing is, I was just asking questions because I legitimately don't know. I mean, I'm ignorant when it comes to traveling, and I'm ignorant when, especially going to New York.
Yep.
And I only see what I see on the screen. So I'm asking questions because I legit don't know. It just seems New York is great, then New York's fucked, then New York's... That's what it would appear as somebody who does not go to New York, but imagine that, a New Yorker's defense of Virginia.
I think any city fluctuates. They have highs and lows, and so New York City, the largest city in the country, is no different. There's probably just as, expanded a little bit more because of the size of the city.
And unfortunately, like, bad stories spread. So when you see bad things on social media, on TikTok, on YouTube, it's stories that are bad that catch fire.
And New York City, that holds a lot of weight for a lot of people that's never been there before because it's always been kind of presented as this place of magic, also tragic. It just got this whole history behind it that makes you go, what the fuck's going on in New York?
Yeah, well, it's always a dog-eat-dog town. That's the one thing. If you make it here, you make it anywhere, and there's a lot of truth to that. I mean, that's where the best of the best go to compete is New York City, and it's been that way since I've been alive, and it'll probably continue to be that way. You hope so, because it does bring out the best of the best. And yeah, there's going to be different things. The people who are, bad-mouthing New York City right now are probably the people who have a lot of money, and they're not loving that tax. I'd seen that one of them was Mamdani had done a little thing out front of a really rich dude's penthouse and was kind of calling him out. And he's like, hey, man, so he didn't love that. So, yeah, some of the uber wealthy people right now in New York City, they may not be loving what they're doing with those taxes, but seems like the rest of the city seems to love it. So that's the way life goes, baby. Joseph, he talked a little bit about Martin County. We've heard Martin County is not the place to commit crimes. Wrong exit, brah.
Wrong exit. That's the slogan.
When they came up with that slogan, they're like, oh, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. It hits.
He said, I just want to share my experience with the year that I spent out there at the Martin County Boot Camp Juvenile Detention Center. It's right next to the county jail. Pretty crazy. It's shut down now, but it was a wild place. I was arrested when I was 16 for burglary and charged as an adult, but they gave me juvenile sanctions that allowed me to avoid a 5-year sentence in the penitentiary.
Well, that's good.
It was a progress-based program where you had physical goals, educational goals, all these things, and you would have a 30-day treatment meeting and see if you met those goals, and then you would progress. If not, it would hold you back those 30 days, and they could do that as much as they wanted. So you could go there for 1 year, or you could go there and end up being there for 2 years. I got my GED there and turned my life around.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah, I think we used to play baseball right by the prison in Martin County because you'd play against Martin County High School, and right in right field was the prison. You could see it from the dugout. And we'd always make jokes going, man, if someone hits a ball out there, that motherfucker ain't coming back. Someone to steal that shit.
Mm-hmm. I got an email here from VJ. He said, yeah, Kev, talking about your ticket, and I'll look into it. And I've heard a little bit back and forth. My wife had just told me yesterday, and I forgot about the whole thing where you can do the class or whatnot. I'm just like, hey, can you take care of this? She's like, I paid it. She's like, but they asked if you want to do the class, and I said no. I'm like, oh, that's right. I'm like, how long was it? I'm like, I should have done the class. I'm going to see if I can go back and do the class. So I think you might be able to, at least according to a Google search I found.
Okay.
Because somebody said, yeah, don't take the points.
You can change your mind.
Yes.
Oh, that would suck, though.
Hopefully.
The class? Oh.
Yeah, but still, I just don't want the points because it jacks up your insurance and all that stuff. You know me, I'm a tight ass. So I figure hopefully, because I've seen some of those things where a lot of times you can put them on and it kind of, and you just.
It's an online course.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not so bad.
Yeah, you don't have to go in person.
You can still spank it if you want to. Just walk out the room.
That gets a little risky. You do a Jeffrey Tubin.
Leave the room.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And VJ said, yeah, you can hire Ticket Clinic. It's about $80 and they fight the case in court for you. And most of the time the judge just throws it out, no points. Denny's had said, though, in his experience where he did all that stuff and lost, and you had to pay the ticket and then the court costs, and it was a nightmare for you.
Yeah, so when the Ticket Clinic, I hired them, they went out to the court thing and they lost the case. So I had to pay the court costs on that and my ticket.
Damn.
And the fee to have them defend me. So it ended up costing me about $600 instead of $350.
What'd you do wrong? What'd you break laws on?
So this is such a weird situation, of course, but so I was going to go make a left onto a street, and I saw, there's traffic coming both ways. It was opening, and I was going to shoot it, but then I saw to the left there was a school bus pulling out because school was just getting out, and I go, I don't want to get in a school zone, so I cut a hard right, and I went right instead, but I sped up so I could get in front of the cars coming, but the school zone sign extended about 25 feet past that turn. Oh. So the cop saw me flooring it to get in front of this car, and he marked me 20 miles over a school zone speed limit.
Oh, damn.
So it was a $350 ticket. And I go, well, I was speeding because I was making a right to get in front of people. He's like, yeah, but you're in a school zone. And I go, I didn't know I was in a school zone. I made a right intentionally to avoid the school zone, not knowing that the sign extended 15 or 20 feet past the right I made.
Dang.
So he caught me going, speeding up 20 miles per hour over to get in front of the car right before I got to the sign. So he clocked me before the sign. After I passed the sign, I'm cool.
Oh, he's probably just like, shut the fuck up and tell it to the judge, hippie.
Oh, he didn't want to. He didn't want to hear none of it. But yeah, when they took it to court, I guess when Ticket Clinic just went there, they go, oh yeah, I guess he was speeding in the school zone, and they just said I lost the case. And I go, well, there's a lot of things going, a lot of factors involved here. I go, I was making a right real quickly to get in front of a car, not knowing that I was in the school zone still. I was trying to avoid the school zone. But anyway, it was $600 pretty much.
Oh,
Damn.
That's a kick in the dick.
That is rough. Wow.
Why do
I've never heard anything that big.
What do I remember? If you got a ticket, you could take a class, but it was goofy, comedic,
so
speed ticket shit. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
That's what they are. That's the class I took to get the points off my license during this instance. It's a comedy driving school. I'm not even kidding.
Isn't that wild?
It's like a comedian. They make it fun for you, but it takes up to 4 points off your license.
Whoa. Okay.
So I did it. It was very funny.
What a bizarre thing. We're going to do a course, but we're going to throw in some comedy there. I got to fucking see that.
That's weird.
I got to see a version of that lecture.
And Chris said if anybody ever gets a ticket, always take it to the Traffic Ticket Clinic. They show up on your behalf and pay basically a fraction of the cost, and I've never received any points. I've taken them 4 tickets, just saying good resource. All right, yeah. So
unless you're Denny's.
Yeah, or do you have to pay double?
Yeah, that's the cautionary tale there, so it doesn't always work. And Karen said this one is for Kevin. Next time somebody gets a speeding ticket in your family, go and pay the Ticket Clinic. Yeah, same or often less. Yeah, so a lot of people are vouching for the ticket clinic.
Do they still do the comedy thing, or is that done? Because it's so bizarre.
It's so weird. Like, what?
I don't know. I might find out. I got an email from Ryan in Lake Worth Beach. He's always charting things, and he was seeming to think that there was some weird things happening with a bunch of military aircraft that was heading east toward the Bahamas on Saturday.
Okay, I'm listening.
I don't understand all he's saying, but he's saying it showed that there were some massive cargo planes heading out intermittently from all over the mainland U.S. and then turning off their trackers over the Bahamas. I just thought it was odd because President Trump left Mar-a-Lago unusually early on Saturday, and this is gorgeous weather. I know that he was heading to the White House Correspondents' Dinner later on, but it was kind of bizarre. The Air Force One flight time. Yeah, he had a big crypto thing at Mar-a-Lago, I think, on Saturday. Mike Tyson was there, and they had a whole bunch of other celebrity things. I know Trump, I think, has his own crypto thing that he's doing, which I don't understand any of that kind of stuff.
I don't either.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, and sometimes you don't know if they're running a test. I mean, there's a lot of times I go out in my backyard, and I know they're not aliens, I know they're not UAPs, but there's definitely a shit ton of activity going out in the west part. I don't know if Pratt & Whitney is doing tests out there, but there's clearly something going on where they're doing something.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a free show.
It
really.
is.
It's kind of neat.
It is kind of neat. And yeah, they don't really tell you. I mean, I talked to somebody one time about the kind of security clearance they have at Pratt Whitney even. And he said, yeah, they've got some legit stuff there.
Oh, yeah. They're
very top secret stuff.
They build jets and shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, who knows?
That's what it says on the sign. We build jets and shit.
And what says my dad used to work there. He's like, what are you doing? Shut up about Pratt.
Yeah, and then he said, I sent my previous email to you at about 8:04 p.m. explaining something sketchy was going on. Around 8:37 p.m., shots were fired at the Correspondents' Dinner. I told you something sketchy's going on.
Whoa.
Yeah, I don't know if that would have anything to do with it, but who knows? I mean, boy, the conspiracy theorists are really lit up with all this stuff from over the weekend.
It is.
They're thinking it's false flag stuff, and it's like every now and then I do a little rundown. I like to see what the crazies are talking about a bit, you know. But,
what the hell is false flag mean?
It's not it's a put on event. It's a stunt. It's not real.
Yeah, I still have never brought myself to believe. And these, like they'll say for like 9/11, didn't happen the way they say.
Even the Boston Marathon thing, there was times that they were
Right.
like, oh, it's a false flag.
Yeah, they love throwing that out. And I've never bit into one of those. I enjoy hearing their discourse and just kind of out of amusement watch what they say. But
They're called crisis actors, and a lot of times you'll see it sometimes with the school shooting. They love to do that, where they'll zone in on some parents. I forget what school it was, but there was a parent getting ready to talk, and there's a camera on him, and he's smiling and laughing, and then he goes up and he starts to cry, and I was like, see, look, he wasn't ready, he was laughing, and then he walks up and he's crying, false flag, and then people start fighting.
yeah, I think a lot of times they overly look into something, and then they make a lot of loose connections and try to, paint it as all this.
It's basically what people do on TikTok.
Same thing.
Same
It
thing.
is. Yeah, so anytime you have one of these events, like, another assassination attempt on Trump, people will say, oh, it didn't really happen the way you think.
The big one though is
we'll never know.
9/11 is a big one for crisis actors and all that stuff. And there's been documentaries on this shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was a Loose Change, I think was the name of it. that
Yep.
I think I watched probably 15 years ago now. That kind of went in and they talked about all the missing gold bullion that was underneath the World Trade Center that they just can't figure out where that went. And
They thought they were doing runs or kind of dry runs before 9/11 happened with the police and the ambulance. I mean, again, these are what the conspiracy people say.
Well, if you can't find the gold,
yeah.
that is kind of troublesome and curious.
And look, they even just tagged it in there. Who knows if there was gold bullion? That's how sometimes these narratives go. They make up something that's completely wild and unhinged. And
There's a tower that fell that sometimes isn't reported on, and it fell at a weird time. And yeah, there's all kind of different weird things. But again,
I look at it because it's interesting, but I've never once really taken any kind of stance on, yes, that's exactly how it happened. I just can't bring myself to get there.
Because it does start to kind of just give you blue balls after a while. If it's just conspiracy and there's never any answers on anything.
I mean, look at the people who got blue balls still with the JFK assassination.
You're gonna continue to have blue balls.
How unsatisfying has that story been your entire life?
Terrible, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't be hanging on that long.
Oh, I know.
I don't have the patience.
I don't.
Neither do your balls.
No, they do not.
No, it does. It does kind of do damage to your balls after a while. Constantly waiting for this info to come out.
Please let it drop.
Yeah. Paula, she wants to talk a bit about that portion of my body. She said, since you brought up your dick issues, Kev, I thought I'd bring up my boyfriend's. Been with him for 16 years, and over the last year or so, he has struggled to fully perform in the bedroom. Unlike you, he's not been very openly communicative about it with me and the struggle. It is.
Well, he's probably scared and like freaked out.
You know, there could be a couple things. One, some guys don't communicate well. They don't know how to communicate well. Maybe he is embarrassed. And then there also might be guys, too, that don't care. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, and unfortunately, if they're satisfied, they're like, no, I don't care about you.
From what I understand, too,
You never know.
I don't think a lot of women care if you need a pill to get your dick up hard, as long as it's hard. You don't care if it. I think you get to a certain point, you realize the body ain't going to work the way it used to work.
Yeah.
I don't think most people really give a shit.
No.
Yeah. He said she said it is literally the most awkward experience trying to get it in, and it doesn't fully work. And literally, he just goes silent and then just leaves the room. We've never had a conversation about how to fix it, but even more so, how has he never even been able to realize I'm not satisfied? And he's only 38 years old. He also has recently been diagnosed with diabetes, too.
I can tell you what's happening. This might be affecting his his thoughts. He doesn't know how to talk to you about this. He's only 38, first of all. That's young.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's probably really sad and upset on the inside and hasn't figured out how to process it or speak it.
And look, there was a time where if I had a weak peen, I would be... There was a time in my life where I'd go, man, how do I deal with that? I think maturity and just getting older, you go, all right, let me just be honest and let somebody know what's going on. But for some people, that might be an embarrassing thing.
Yep.
And if you don't really care and you love him, maybe that's all he needs to hear to kind of, because wouldn't you rather have a hard dick than this weird, odd snail trying to get in there?
Yeah, no, you're right. That's a great way to put it. That's what you're talking about.
Slug dick.
Well, I mean, that's awkward.
Yeah.
Now, taking the pill and having,
Well, the fact that he's 38, been diagnosed with diabetes, that's a blood flow issue, and that's what happens with your dick, too.
Totally.
So there's a really strong chance there is a connection with the diabetes and the issues he's having with the ED. And it might be, I'm not an expert on it. I've only gone in and I tried to learn a little bit of it, but it could be an overall health thing. And that is part of it, to what Jay Bird's saying. Part of it could be mental, could be stress, could be other things that you're putting in your body, tinctures, alcohol, things like that could affect it. So, there's a gazillion different things. That's why I just say get to game day, because they do all that. They try to figure out what it is. They don't immediately go right to your dick and...
But they'll fix that dick, though, if that thing's broken.
They'll get there, yeah. And a lot of times they just try to get you on the hormone replacement. They say, you know what, that a lot of times is enough. You just need that extra little go-go juice that'll kind of get you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that helps you out.
Nice.
So, yeah, I'm going through another treatment on Friday. I'm going to try the other treatment that they have just so I can say I did it all.
Is this with needles in the dick as well?
No, this is shockwave. I think this is, I think they take like a car battery.
And put it in your butthole?
And then, why do they put it in my butthole?
I don't know. Sounds fun.
Yeah,
I'm hoping you say...
butthole's fine.
I do hope you say dick, because I would like to just sing, shockwave my dick.
I think it is.
That's awesome.
It is.
Does it hurt?
They gave me numbing cream.
Oh.
Problematic. Yep.
So have you felt any kind of difference? Honestly, people do keep asking me about it.
Yeah, no, I think it is better. Like I said, I think I was at 80% before. I would say that I'm 90 to 95.
Okay.
I'd like it a little bit more reliable. So that's why hopefully this one puts me over the top and all good.
And after a little bit of a shockwave my dick, that thing's
right.
gonna be That's going to be Boston strong.
Shock to the dick.
It might shoot
You're
sparks.
to blame.
Yeah. We're going to get Boston Kev back here. Boston Ralston will be back.
Imagine that. I'm doing the queen. Her hair starts standing up straight on her head.
It's impressive.
Dude, now your dick's impressive.
Lightning shooting out of my crotch.
Oh, my
You got
God.
hairband dick?
Yeah, that's it. Electron dick is amazing. Electric dick.
Yeah, that would be very impressive. So, yeah, look, I think if you go at it with kindness and love and be like, hey, I just, I care about you. I just, I notice that you leave quietly sometimes. Do you need some help? You need some encouragement? What is this? And
Say, look, this is normal.
Yep.
Considering the health stuff that you're going through, these issues go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So let's talk to your doctor about it.
Sometimes that's all a person needs to hear. And then it's the gates are open, and guess what? In 3 months, we got a good dick again.
Dick is back.
Exactly.
well, I would just say, look, with your overall health, let's just try to get you back. You got diabetes issues. A lot of times, you can reverse. I've heard of people that have reversed their diabetic conditions with diet and doing different things, a little bit of exercise. And, overall, imagine if you could get everything functional working at 38. That's a little young for
these issues.
Yes.
Yeah.
But the good thing is, though, I think this is all reversible. And I think there's some there's light here at the end of the tunnel.
But let him know you love him and you support him and you're not going anywhere and you want him to be happy and healthy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that'll be it. Just, good luck on the conversation. Hopefully it pans out for you.
If you want us to be there when you tell him, let us know.
Because
We'll come over.
I'll have this hard conversation with
About being hard.
with everybody. I'll sit down. I can be the buffer.
Yes. Well, if you don't have diabetes and you would like it, Drew's got some new ice cream flavors to check out. At Publix, they have Nutella flavor, and they got the Kinder. I think they do the Kinder eggs, the Bueno.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't tried them yet, but definitely will. It's Drew and Jupiter sending that.
The at Trader Joe's, they've got some really good ice cream sandwiches there. Just to let you know, whatever brand they're using, I have to look at what it is. Very good, Virginia.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Also got a idea for a do it bitch punishment for tomorrow, and Jeremy hopes Virginia loses. It's the Burger King Star Wars Blue Cookie Drink.
Oh, damn.
Mixed with that Vita herring juice. Okay, you can find that next to the fresh fish in Publix.
Ugh.
Blue
Vita
and
herring.
fish?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Burger King's got that new blue shake, whatever.
We just had some gefilte fish not too long ago. That was pretty gross.
We eat a lot of aqua.
We do.
And you love aqua, so is it really?
Not a fish in a jar.
Especially blue drink.
Not blue, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's rough. So.
Honestly, though, to your point, blue flavor does suck. It's not my favorite. It's very teeth achy. You look at it and you start getting a toothache. The flavor's never that good.
It's not good for you. All those dyes.
Well,
like,
that
what
shit,
are we
I
doing?
don't care about that shit. I'm just saying the flavor, the taste, baby.
Don't concern them with all those chemicals.
Yeah.
Don't talk your health shit to me, woman.
Yeah. How did you love the Blueberry Monster cereal?
Not my favorite.
Okay.
I mean, I would eat it, and it was okay, but not my favorite.
Can you name all the different varieties?
Count Chocula. You
Yep.
got Frankenberries. You've got the one you just said, the Blueberry.
Yep.
What the fuck am I missing?
I think that's all of them in there. When there are only 3.
No, one more? I don't know.
I think you got them.
Sorry, I just don't.
Don't beat yourself up.
I hate blowing those type of questions.
Don't disappoint Kevin.
They did have Fruit Brute, and there was Yummy Mummy.
Yummy Mummy. I do remember Yummy Mummy. Fruit Brute. That sounds whack.
Yeah, it looked like a werewolf type of thing.
Oh, actually sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. Yeah, and then the Frankenberry was the strawberry, right?
Did you like Cookie Crisp as a kid?
I did, but it kind of threw me off because I love cookies, but they just weren't the best cookies. So it kind of,
You wanted real
I wanted
Chips
real
Ahoy
cookies.
in there.
So I kind of always like felt like somebody was messing with me. I'm like,
You're like, wait, these are real cookies.
I'd
Those are
rather have
bitch-ass
real cookies
cookies,
for
yeah.
breakfast. Yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping
Trick
for.
cookies.
Absolutely.
You ain't tricking Fat Kevin.
No, that fat kid knew everything. He,
No,
he
You
detected
sniff it out.
Give
He
you a
would.
bowl full of Chips Ahoy with milk in it. Now we're talking.
Yeah, I'd still eat. I mean, I'm gonna turn it away, but yeah, I'd rather have the real cookies. So, all right, well, if you got anything to ever add to the show, hit us up. It is mail@kvjshow.com as we get this week going. So happy you guys are here. We'll see you back again to do it tomorrow. Goodbye.